Hello, dear students. Again, I'm coming with another video for you. And today's video is precisely for mathematics preparation. You all are appearing board exam from 15th of February. So today I'm going to speak totally and specially about the subject mathematics. So here you have seen the thumbnail of the YouTube. I have already mentioned that is it possible to score 80 upon 80? That is a very big question, in fact. So I answer that it is very much possible, but of course, not for everyone. But even if it is not possible to score 80 upon 80 for all students, but still it is very much sure for all the students to score a good one. So today I'm going to discuss precisely about those particular points. Video will not be very long, so you can continue watching till the end. Definitely you'll be benefited. I'm sure about that. Okay, so let's get started. How to start for the board preparation? The subject maths. There are three very important points, right? There are three very important points. Try to observe what are those 3 points. The first condition, solid concept. Second is the quality revision. And third, assorted problem. So you definitely should have a very good idea about the problems, the type of questions. Now, I want to discuss each of these three topics individually so that it gives you the clarity, so that you will not be confused what exactly you are going to perform or you are going to do. So, first is about the solid concept. Now, as you have already finished your syllabus, entire syllabus, and for pre-board exams also you have gone for a revision, a detailed revision. So more or less your concepts are clear, except very few students. So as your concepts are more clear, very less doubts may be left out, which can be easily resolved, right? Just with positive intention. So what I suggest you is that before you start the another round of revision, you first see all those basic concepts of the chapters from the class notes taught by your teacher in detail. You think that this is the last time you are seeing and you are not getting any more chance. So, with that positive intention, you see and feel that you have to retain this, you have to understand this with this particular attempt only. You will not get any more chance. So, very slowly, comfortably, you read completely all the concepts so that you can retain and revise everything of the theory part of that particular chapter. Then next comes quality revision. Quality revision is another very important condition for getting a good score and having a successful result, particularly in mathematics, because mathematics needs accuracy, right? How many problems you practice is not the main matter. How qualitatively you can solve a problem, to what extent you have the clarity of the problem is very important. So now I suggest you strictly that don't see any new problem. Whatever problems you already have done, go for repeated revisions. Revise it twice, thrice, as much as possible, so that you get a picture, crystal clear clarity of the problem. You should be able to know everything A to Z of the problem. Then you will find that you are in a very confident state. So for this, you have again two subparts. you can create a mind map. Of course, how to do it, I'll prepare a video for it by taking one of the chapters of your class. Definitely, I'll give it very shortly. So you can create a mind map of every chapters of your study. And then when you finish with the concepts, the practice should be always done from the backward direction, in the backward direction. That means usually when we do the class teaching, we move from exercise 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 like this. But whenever you are doing the revision, you start from the backward direction, start from the last exercise, right? For class 10, of course, we don't have optional exercise. So you start from the last exercise. And for class 12, I suggest you start from the miscellaneous exercise. Why is it so? I give you the proof that this will help you in completing the particular chapter in a very short duration of time effectively. Why it will be finished short in short time? The reason is that last chapter, last exercise, or the miscellaneous exercise of that particular chapter always constitute of such problems which are having concepts of the previous exercises. So, as you are now very clear about the theory part, if you start from the backside, by the time you finish with two or three, not even three, two exercises, around two exercises, you will find that the first two exercises are already finished. So you need not put extra time for doing so. So this is a clever way of revision, right? Please do that because your time factor is very important now. You can save a lot of time by doing so. Then the third point I was discussing and the original assorted question. This is one of the very, very important part of the entire preparation of your subject mathematics. I am telling you, follow these steps. You all know the typology of the questions. I mean, what type of questions you are going to have in your board exams. Because already teachers might have discussed this in the classes. You might have got in the sample papers. You might have already appeared such questions in your weekly tests or maybe periodic tests or the pre-board exams. I'm again repeating this. There are 1 mark questions which are MCQs and some are assertion regions. The 2 marks questions which are very short answer type questions. Then 3 marks question, these are short answer type questions. 4 marks questions, these are case study questions. And 5 marks questions, these are long answer type questions. Now, what I suggest, whatever chapter you take, please listen to me very carefully because this is one of the important part. Whatever chapter you are going to take for revision, before you start practicing any of the problems, you first try to identify because now by this time you have got experiences of the type of questions which may be uh, taken from that particular chapter you are revising now, right? So you try to identify, is there possibility of a 5 mark question in that chapter what you are doing? If it is, what are those types? What are those types? You note it down. I'm telling you that in a particular chapter, there may be just maximum 2 or 3 types of 5 marks question. If you sort them out and you start doing the practice of those questions, I tell you that you have done a bigger pie of the chapter. You have done a huge part because every 5 marks question needs in-depth concepts, a lot of skills, a lot of work you have to do. And if you could solve those type of questions at the beginning of the revision of the exercises, then this will automatically help you solving lower marks questions. like 3 marks and 2 marks questions because they will be the part of that 5 marks questions. So you can tackle at a time 5 marks, 3 marks, and 2 marks questions. Then try to identify, is there any possibility that there can be case study questions for the particular chapter? If you have, then try to identify few of them, get them from the sample papers and practice them. I tell you, case study problems are looking difficult, right? They're made in such a way that it seems difficult, but believe me, they're all from your practical life with a mathematical touch. So if you can really understand the question, then you can score all 4 marks of each of the case study problem. So for doing so, I suggest you try to read the questions till you understand it. Don't just abruptly start it after reading it once. You make it sure that you understood this very well. At last, the very uh, I can say scoring as well as some deceptive questions. They are the MCQs and assertion region. So basically, MCQs needs you the in-depth concepts. If you're very clear about those small concepts, then hardly very few MCQs will be there which will take time to solve. Otherwise, just by reading, you can solve out of 20 MCQs as many as 12 to 15 MCQ just by reading and doing some mental work, right? And as far as assertion region is concerned, for that, of course, you need really a high order thinking skill because these are very, very confusing. So for that, I request you go for practice from the sample paper, right? The next point is about the practice. Till now, I'm talking about the practice that is revision, but now I'm talking about the practice of the speed. So for that, definitely you have to take sample papers. You can purchase any sample paper. I don't want to recommend anything. Uh, you have a lot of publications. You can take any of the book. Don't purchase more, right? Because every book contains now at least 15 sample papers. Out of that, five may be solved, the rest are unsolved. So you take any one of them and then start solving. But how? How you'll start solving? Because 15 papers, it may not be very much possible for you. It may be time consuming. Yeah, I'm telling you that another video I'll prepare for you all to show you how to solve simple papers in short span of time. But now, as of now, let me go with this flow. After getting the sample paper, you have to divide the complete sample paper into two parts. If you ask me, I'll suggest you strictly that before the exam, board exam, you solve three sample papers by giving full 3 hours time, creating an exam situation. Okay, I'm saying only three, not more than three. By giving complete 3 hours, creating exactly the exam situation. That means take 15 hours for reading the questions, then exactly at a particular time you start, and then take 3 hours maximum to finish the paper. Now try very hard to finish your paper within 2 hours 45 minutes. In detail, I'll discuss also how much time you should take for each question in another video. And now, if you have purchased a sample paper, out of that, I told you three you have to practice. What about the remaining 12? I'm not saying that you should leave them. How you'll practice? The other part should be practiced section wise so that you can know your strength also. How much time each section will take when exactly you will appear in the board. That will definitely prepare you for appearing successfully and most effectively the question paper of maths in the board. That is very, very important point you need to note. And then last but not the least, this is a very important point I'm going to discuss because you uh, don't take it. Otherwise, I'm saying that all students are taking like this. It's not like this. But majority of the students are thinking that if you continuously study for a longer duration of time, you can cover a good enough part of the chapter and you will be performing good or better or the best. But then this is not true. Whenever you're preparing, try to take always a suitable gap of 2 to 3 minutes or maybe maximum 5 minutes between your study. Keep the span of your study continuously for maximum up to 1 hour. After every 1 hour, try to make it a point that you will take a 5 minutes gap. Purposely, you have to take the gap because taking gap will make you refresh. That dull situation will be refreshed. You will again sit for a new another hour. And this will increase the productivity, concentration, and it will be more output oriented for you. Okay, so this is the last suggestions to you. And now start. We'll meet you with another video showing you the solution of simple paper, how to do it, and different types of questions, how you can prepare a mind map for every chapters in mathematics. Bye bye and all the best. Thank you.